we defeat our enemies? Hello guys, this is Shundel and today's share is about defeating our enemies. We all face different kinds of enemies every day, guys. The trials, the difficulties, the challenges, they're all enemies in our life journey. We all have to face those different kinds of enemies, and how can we really face and handle those enemies in our life? The anxiety, the depression, the sadness, they're all enemies in our life that can hinder our successes, that gives us hindrance to our goals and dreams in our life. We are not going to entertain these enemies, guys. We are going to work with it. We are going to defeat those enemies in our life journey. We don't like it, right? It's hurting, it's sad, it's depressing, it can be frustrating when we are going to entertain these enemies in our life. How can we really defeat one by one these enemies? Guys, remember that you are a conqueror. You are a warrior. You can defeat them. You can make it when you invite the Holy Spirit and God above to lead you and guide you every day. Guys, I am sharing this with you because my life here in Norway has been difficult, living alone with 2 kids, alone with the responsibility. It's not easy. I have experienced the crying nights, the sleepless night, facing these different kinds of enemies in my life is very important for me to have the strength and faith in God, or else I cannot make it, or else it becomes harder for me to face the struggles every day. Learning to defeat these enemies in our lives, guys, you cannot make it alone without the belief and trust in God. I always trust Him, guys, believing that He's in control. I always invite Him into my life, that He will guide me every day, that He will lead me where He wants me to be. It's not easy. Guys, we all need a holding point in our life, and that is very important, guys, because we cannot fight those enemies in our life when we don't have that holding point in our life to face them, to conquer them. As we are warriors, we must have that certain feelings, believe that we are a conqueror. We are all warriors, and we are not alone when we are going to the war without any weapon. We have to face and learn to conquer these enemies. Even it seems so very difficult, even it seems so helpless. But when you can learn to invite God every day in your life, knowing that He is in control, knowing that everything will work out for your own good. Yes, everything will work out for your own good when you believe in Him, when you take every enemies into your prayer. Remember, pray without ceasing. Remember that what you have been through, you're not alone. Each and every day, we have to face different kinds of enemies in order to move forward, because the enemies are always there. They are the hindrance of our successes. They are the hindrance of our plans, taking one step towards our goals. those enemies are the hindrances in our life journey. Yes, and what are those enemies? The depression, the doubt, the anxiety, the bad feelings, the sadness. All those things, guys, are enemies in our life. They are there for us to conquer them as a warrior, but we have to invite God into us to conquer those enemies. Yes, anxiety is number one enemy that stop us towards our destiny, to stop us to develop our full potential. Yes, that is depression, the doubt. Those are the enemies. It's like they are bullying us in order for us not to pursue the dreams and wishes and goals in our life. Yes, we must understand that we must learn to fight these enemies in our life. To resist the enemies in our life, guys, I am taking you to the book of James 4:7, as it says, "So when you surrender to God, stand up to the devil and resist him, and he will flee in agony." Yes, when we are facing the enemies in our life, we feel like we are being bullied. Yes, the enemy is a bully. Bullies are loud, intimidating, liars, and try to threaten us, to control us, and keep us down. We have to stand up to the enemy and say, "Your intimidation and threats don't move me." You have to declare it by faith that the enemy have no power over you. I know, or you know, that I am, and I know who I am. I know who I am, and I know who's with me. It may seem very intimidating, guys, but remember always that God are our majority. Remember that you have the power of God, and He destined you in your life, so you will come to pass from these trials. Yes, we must not live worried, not live in lies, playing in our mind, not live in doubts. The doubts, the depression, the sadness, the frustration are enemies in our life journey. And remember that enemy is a bully. Do not entertain them. The way you defeat the enemy is by saying what God says about you. When the enemy says, "I'll never break out," you will not break through and rise higher. You have to declare it by faith that the path of the righteous gets brighter and brighter, and that's my path. My greatest victories are still in front of me. When you hear the lie, you'll never break the addiction, or you'll never break the depression. But tell the enemy, "I am surrendered to God. My God and Jesus Christ is in me, and I am free. I will become who I was created to be." Remember, guys, that God's sending us a companion, Jesus Christ, who is far more powerful than the enemy we are facing. He is going to break the enemy's power and strengthening us to stand up tall, and we will walk in the liberty by which Christ has set us free. We have to remember that to ourselves. We are going to defeat the enemy by saying that God is our path. He is the righteous in our life, and it gets brighter and brighter. And we have to declare it by faith that our path is with God, and our victories are still in front of us. And He is going to let us be free from our enemy, and we will become who we were created to be. For me, guys, to handle those enemies in my life journey, yes, prayer and prayer and prayer, meditation and prayer. When you pray a lot, the enemies will not conquer you. You are going to conquer them, but you are not going to be defeated. You are not going to be depressed forever, anxiety forever. You are going to live your best life when you know how to conquer these enemies in your life through a word of prayer. This is Yundel. Thank you for listening. Thank you for dropping here in my channel. I am just saying with you guys that we all have to face this kind of enemies in our life journey, and we are going to learn how to handle it, how to conquer, how to go to the war without any weapon except your prayer. Prayer is your best weapon to conquer the enemies in your life. Remember that you are not alone, and through prayer and meditation, God is leading you and guiding you every day. Believe me, I have experienced that the moment I kneel down for a word of prayer, concentrating it all to Him, surrendering it all to Him, I find the peace and happiness within me. The anxiety will begin, the doubt will begin, the depression will begin, and the sadness and frustration will begin when I can take it to the Lord in prayer. This is Yundel. I love you all, and thank you so much for supporting me in my life journey. And bye-bye.